livelihood. Since the Vedic society is divided into 4 classes of men, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, the means of livelihood are also mentioned in the scriptures. The Brahmanas should live by spreading knowledge and should therefore take contributions from their disciples, whereas a king should give protection to the citizens for their development to the highest standard of life, and he can therefore levy taxes from them. Businessmen or mercantile men, because they produce foodstuffs for the whole of society, can take a little profit from this, whereas the Shudras, who cannot work as either Brahmanas, Kshatriyas or Vaishyas, should give service to the higher classes of society and be provided by them with the supply of the necessities of life. The symptom of a qualified king or political leader is mentioned herein. He must be very merciful and compassionate to the people and see to their prime interest, which is to become elevated devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Great souls are naturally inclined to do good to others, and the Vaishnava especially is the most compassionate and merciful personality in society. Therefore, we all offer our respects to a Vaishnava leader as follows. Vanchakalpatarupyascha kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Only a Vaishnava leader can fulfill all the desires of the people, Vanchakalpataru. And he is compassionate because he is the contributor of the greatest benefit to human society. He is Patita Pavana, the deliverer of all fallen souls, because if the king or the head of the government follows in the footsteps of the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, who are naturally leaders in missionary work, the Vaishyas will also follow in the footsteps of the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, and the Shudras will give them service. Thus the entire society becomes a perfect human institution for combined progress to the highest perfection of life. Text 51. Translation. The citizens continued. Today you have opened our eyes and revealed how to cross to the other side of the ocean of darkness. By your past deeds and by the arrangement of superior authority, we are entangled in a By our past deeds and by the arrangement of superior authority, we are entangled in a network of fruitive activities and have lost sight of the destination of life. Thus we have been wandering within the universe. Purport. In this verse, the word karma, bir, daiva, samnitai are very significant. Due to the quality of our actions, we come to the association of the modes of material nature. And by superior arrangement, we are given a chance to enjoy the fruitive results of such activities in different types of bodies. In this way, having lost sight of their destinations in life, all living entities are wandering in different species throughout the universe, sometimes getting birth in a lower species and sometimes existence in higher planetary systems. Thus we are all wandering since time immemorial. It is by the grace of the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead that we get the clue of devotional life, and thus progressive success in our life begins. Here, this is admitted by the citizens of King Prithu. In full consciousness, they admit the benefit they have derived from the activities of Maharaj Prithu. Text 52. Translation. Dear Lord, you are situated in your pure existential position of goodness. Therefore, you are the perfect representative of the Supreme Lord. You are glorified by your own prowess, and thus you are maintaining the entire world by introducing Brahminical culture and protecting everyone in your line of duty as a Kshatriya. Purport. Without the spread of Brahminical culture and without proper protection from the government, no social standard can be maintained properly. This is admitted in this verse by the citizens of Maharaj Prithu, who could maintain the wonderful situation of his government due to his position in pure goodness. Who could maintain the wonderful situation of his government due to his position in pure goodness? The word Vivrida Vaya is significant. In the material world, there are three qualities, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. One has to be raised from the platform of goodness to the platform. One has to be raised from the platform of ignorance to the platform of goodness by devotional service. There is no other means for elevating one from the lowest stage of life to the highest stage but the execution of devotional service, as advised in the previous chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam. One can raise himself from the lowest position to the highest simply by associating with devotees and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly from their mouths. Shrinvatam sva kata Krishna punya shavana kirtana ridyantas do yabhadrani vidunoti surit satam. When one engages in devotional service in the first stage of hearing and chanting, the Lord, who is in everyone's heart, helps the devotee in cleansing his heart. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.17. In the gradual cleansing process, one is relieved of the influence of passion and ignorance and is situated on the platform of goodness. The result of association with the qualities of passion and ignorance is that one becomes lusty and greedy. But when one is elevated to the platform of goodness, he is satisfied in any condition of life and is without lust and greed. This mentality indicates one's situation on the platform of goodness. One has to transcend this goodness and raise himself to the pure goodness called Vivrida Sattva, or the advanced stage of goodness. In the advanced stage of goodness, one can become Krishna conscious. Therefore, Maharaj Prithu is addressed here as Vivrida Sattva, or one who is situated in the transcendental position. But Maharaj Prithu, although situated in the transcendental position of a pure devotee, came down to the position of Brahmana and Kshatriya for the benefit of human society, and thus gave protection to the entire world by his personal prowess. Although he was a king, a Kshatriya, because he was a Vaishnava, he was also a Brahmana. As a Brahmana, he could give proper instructions to the citizens, and as a Kshatriya, he could rightly give protection to all of them. Thus, the citizens of Maharaj Prithu were protected in all respects by the perfect king. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the 4th canto, 21st chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Instructions by Maharaj Prithu. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Haribo. Jai.
Jai. Yeah, so we can see, this is a Paramahansa scripture, this is a very high level Prabhupada is talking about, So we can see mostly, I think, what I realized was what I was thinking today, what we are basically seeing, this is like the scriptures, they talk about this Paramahansa level, What we are seeing practically is that most of us, we are just doing this devotional service in the modes of nature, So, but still, this is very good, because the most important thing is to do devotional service, This I think what is the problem with many Ritviks, It's like, even if you go to the gym, and you sign up and you say, okay, this is the right gym, but then you don't go there to exercise, then you won't get any benefit, So, at least we should go to the gym, of Shravanam and Kirtanam according to our capacity, I think this is a problem with many Ritviks, why many Ritviks are suffering, because they're not practicing the sadhana, So, to some extent, we should try to do as much as possible according to our modes, That's also what I've been trying, It has been difficult in the last weeks, but we can do something, I guess. Now, today I was chanting again for the first time. The 16-year-olds.
Good. I even heard in a Prabhupada talk, Prabhupada said something is better than nothing. So
Yeah. Well, and we also need more self-confidence, because if you have this negative mindset, I think that's why I'm also for a change of the preaching, We should just admit, that people are not, on this level, that people are just doing devotional service in the three modes, So, because I think many people, they feel ashamed, or they left ISKCON, because they can't follow the regulative principles, and then they feel ashamed also to come back, So, I will go to bed now. It's better to go to bed early. I was just listening one lecture from Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu. He's one Ritvik from Jaipur, but he's a really black belt karate preacher. And he was also telling, if you sleep from 9 to 12, every hour counts double, If you sleep from 4 to 8 or something like this, the sleep only counts half, So it's really, it's really important to go to bed early, I will try to do this now.
Yeah, that's pretty good
because
advice.
I'm also feeling very bad, My health is, I don't know what this is, But I've been feeling bad for. I'm sick of it,
Oh, there's a lot of flu and stuff going around, so.
Well, I don't know. I'm just so tired all the time, I can't get up in the morning, So now I'm chanting my rounds while I'm in the bed, I can like wake up, take the beat back and just start chanting in the mind, But I can't do anything with the body, I'm sleeping so long, the body is so tired, but I just take the beats, I have the beats lying next to my bed, and then I just chant in the mantra in the mind, But it takes a very long time, Sometimes it takes 2 hours just for chanting 8 rounds in the mind, or something like this. Very slow. It's very slow. But something is better than nothing. I can't get up anymore. So I just lie in. Maybe you can also try this. Have you tried chanting in the mind?
Sometimes. Yeah, I do it sometimes. I usually like combine the two processes, like out loud and in the mind, and I do a little bit of both.
Yeah. Right now I'm just chanting in the mind. I don't know. I can't chant really aloud. I can't chant on the beats anymore aloud. I'm too tired. I don't know. I lost the taste also for chanting, but now it's coming back somehow.
Good.
Today it came back. That was good. So, yeah, that's also what I think. Because even one senior devotee, he was telling me he also, is practicing sometimes illicit sex, these kind of things, and that's why he left ISKCON. He's also one Prabhupada Nuga, So I was just thinking today, we should just change the preaching, to admit, that people are just, the scriptures talk about the Paramahansa level, And what we see is that people are just in the modes of nature, and they are just doing devotional service in the modes of nature, Because I think otherwise, we can't really, it's like sort of a hypocrisy, Because nobody can really follow this level, people are just doing it in the modes, according to their best ability.
Yeah, so, well, the most important thing is to be honest, and the problem is that most religious people, they don't want to be shunned from their group, and there's so many social things like that prevents people from being honest, so.
Well, this is natural, It's Madhu Pandit calls this a social ego, it's just necessary, you know. In a society, there will be some social ego, you know. It's just a part of life, you know. So I don't think anymore this is necessarily a bad thing, you know. It's just a natural thing, you know, because as soon as you have some society, you know, people will get a part